All
2nd of January, Rabbi Levitt, Nefesh Hahaim.
in other words, if you want to know what was the purpose that Hashem revealed the hidden deep meanings and intentions behind the mitzvahs of the Torah, it was only for the following purpose. Hurak, Kadesh is bonin, kol echad lefi sichlo v'hasagaso, so that each one of us should contemplate to the full extent of the depths of his seichel and his ability to understand. Ad heichen magin kol prate ma'asa v'diburov achshavoisav v'kol inyanov, to realize how far-reaching and what a profound influence the minutest details of his actions, words, and even thoughts, and everything else, his about how he does and conducts himself, and the profound influence that everything that he does has beholamos bekochos elyonim betaktonim, on the influence that it has on the upper worlds and the powers that are there, and how they filter down all the way down to the taktonim, to this world. So to realize the profound influence that we have in what we do in this world, v'yitpa'el, and he should be so totally astonished by this and moved by it. Bisorer bizeh, and he should be awakened by this. Lasos lekayim kol mitzvah v'kol inyonei avodaso leboro yisborach shmo, to fulfill every mitzvah that he possibly can, and all of the matters of his avoda that he does for Hashem Yisborach, b'tachlis adiktuk, with the greatest precision and detail, b'ema, b'yira, b'ava, b'atzuma, b'kedusha, b'taras alev, and to do it as well with the not only the action, but also to endeavor to do it with reverence for Hashem and awe of Hashem and love for Hashem, and with sanctity and taras alev, purity of his heart, that he intends in what he's doing to simply, to not any ulterior purpose, but to fulfill the Ratzon Hashem. And through this, yigrom tikunim yoter gedolim ba'alomos. And in this, he will, in doing this, more than simply the act in the proper way to fulfill the mitzvah, but also to do it with these kavanos that we're saying over here, then he will even cause greater tikkunim and in the olamos than if he had simply fulfilled the mitzvah without these kavanos. Me'im haya makayim, that's what he's going to say right now. Me'im haya makayim a mitzvah below kedushas v'taras hakavana. So we're saying that, let's just finish. Amnam, however, ha'ikr b'kol ha'mitzvahs li'ikuva hu prate hamasa shebahem. But we must remember that the main body of the mitzvah, doing the act of the mitzvah, that's the main thing to focus on in doing the mitzvah. That he does the mitzvah in the proper way, according to the halacha, at the right time. If there's a time limitation to the halacha in regard to fulfilling the mitzvah, such as the mitzvah of Kriyishma, Shel Arvis, Kriyishma, Shel Shachris, as opposed to all of these, what we call hechera kavanas, these higher higher intentions of love and fear and sanctity and purity. Those things are wonderful, and they add on to the mitzvah, but they are add-ons. Just like when you order pizza from the pizza shop, right? And he says, "Do you want Tosafot?" And you say, "What's Tosafot? Tosfos? I'm ordering a pizza. Who said anything about Tosfos?" So he says, "No. Do you want pepper on it? Do you want this? Do you want you can't have pepperoni or meatball, but you could have other things. That's not the main thing. The main thing is the pizza. So that's what he's saying. The main thing over here is the mitzvah itself, doing the mitzvah, and on top of that, the toppings are the to do it with love and fear and et cetera, et cetera. And there's a reason why he's saying this. There's a reason why he's saying this because some people are mistaken about the fact that they think that a mitzvah, if it's not done with all of these toppings, is hardly a mitzvah at all, and it doesn't hardly do anything at all. And if it's not done with all the toppings, so then it's almost worthless. And so he's coming to say, absolutely not, absolutely not. A mitzvah is a tremendous thing unto itself, and that should be emphasized. And one should endeavor to always do the mitzvah and not think like some people might say, "Oh, I don't have the right kavanos. I don't have the right this. I don't know all the hechra kavanos. Why should I even bother to do the mitzvahs? Because it's hardly worthless." Chas v'shalom, says the Nefesh Hahaim, to think such a thought. Absolutely false. That's where he's coming from. He didn't say who he's coming to say against, but this is where he's coming from. Okay, and with that, we have completed Shar Aleph.
Hooray!
Wow.
A round of applause.
Mazel tov. Yay.
Good morning, Alan.
Oh, Alan's here. Good.
I'm gonna get the place. What are we on now?
Bet, sharp bet.
Now you're right. You came just in time. We're about to start the second gate. You have to go to gate 2 now. The very beginning of gate 2. Okay. And we will see right in the first sentence what this gate 2 is all about.
Wow.
Let us proceed.
Let's see.
Shar Base, gate 2, Perek Aleph, chapter 1. And Sefer Nefesh Hahaim. From Rav Chaim Volozhiner. I don't know if we know his last name or if he had a last name.
I am Volozhiner.
Lo yideh. If anywhere would have it, it would be in your in one of your Sforim. How do they identify the author of the Sefer of Nefesh Hachaim? Who do they say is the author of Sefer Nefesh Hachaim?
Oh, that's a good way to look it up.
Good question.
What's there?
Chaim Volozhin.
That's his last name, Volozhin. Okay.
What's that?
Okay. That's what I suspected.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything that I can see about. Oh, here, Chaim. Oh, Chaim ben Yitzhak. That's not his last name. That's his father's name.
His father's name was Yitzchak.
Yeah,
Okay.
he lived from 1749 to 1821.
Very good.
Now, hold on. Are you still on the phone?
Okay, so let us embark on Perek Aleph,
Will Avi?
and we call upon Lou to start the reading here.
8-2.
Kisiv.
Steve, the Ahava es Hashem Elokeichem. Ulavdo.
I do it. Okay.
It is written, and you will love the Lord your God, and serve him with all your hearts and with all your soul.
Let's see. Yud Gimel.
Vayamru Rabosenu Zichronam Livracha Befere Kama de Sa'anis Uve Sifrei Ezo Hi Avodah Shebelev Have Omer Zo Tefillah. And they said, the Chachamim, the Chazal, in the chapter Kama the Tanis, in the first chapter of Tanis, Uve Sifrei, and in the Sifrei, Ezo Hi Avodah, what is the service, Shabalev, of the heart? Have Omer, you must say, Zo Tefillah, that it is prayer.
Okay, so here we have
Safe like that.
this is a Gemara in Tainus. Looks to be in the very beginning of the Masechta. Very first page, as a matter of fact.
Ah. Oh, that's
And we should take a look over there. The Gemara
Okay.
in Tainus.
Tanis. Okay, 1 second. Get it.
Okay. Let's see. How did he start off here, Chaim? Ksiv la'avas Hashem Elokechem. Ula'avdu b'chol levavchem u'b'chol nafshechem. That is in the second paragraph of Shema.
What page are we on?
Okay, let's just see how we developed over here. Okay. Okay, so Nefesh Hahaim quoted a pasuk La'avas Hashem Elokechem. This is the first pasuk of the second paragraph of Krishma. Not the first one.
Yeah,
This is
second.
Lashon Rabin, a plural conjugation.
I'm sorry, what page is it?
In Tanis, it's Daf Beis Amud Aleph.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Gemara or in the Mishnah?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just
okay. Well, let's look then. Okay, sorry.
yeah. No. The first thing I'm looking up here right now is that the first thing he did here, Nefesh Hachaim, is he quoted. He says, "Ksiv la'avas Hashem Elokechem." And just pointing out that this is the beginning of the second paragraph of Shema.
Right. Okay.
Hahaim Shemora Tishmu, if you will listen to my mitzvahs that I'm commanding today, La'ahava es Hashem Elokechem, La'avdo b'kol levavchem u'b'chol nafshechem. So it's plural.
It's near the bottom of the page.
Okay.
Oh, in the Gemara?
In the Gemara, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Amar Razal b'per kama l'tainus.
It's 2 lines up from the fat lines.
The
The last word on the word is on the line is Elohim. I'm sorry, Elohim. Elohim.
Right. Li'aved et Hashem Elokechem u'levado, serve him b'chol levavchem, with all your heart.
Okay,
That's our pasuk.
that's the pasuk from Krishma.
Right.
Avas Hashem Elokechem, Labda b'kol levavchem. Ezu hi devoda, shehi belev, havi omer zu
Okay,
tefillah.
just what he says. It's a reference to prayer.
I was just wondering why it was that the Gemara overlooked the first time it says this language of Haptas Hashem Lokecha b'chol levavcha. The first beginning of the beginning of Shema. We also had
talk about
such
rain next.
What?
But we're in the section where we're talking about rain. And in the Shema, in the second paragraph, it juxtaposes this verse with rain.
And that's why it overlooked the first time that it mentions Avodah Shabbaleh.
Yeah, I think so.
It talks about the 3 keys of Hashem. Huh.
Right.
Which one is rain?
Yeah, it's this page, this doc is all about rain.
Siv basrei v'nasati matar artzachem bi'ito.
Right season.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Oh, you know what you okay.
Okay. Ba'omer Razal, Ezer voted is tefillah. Voted Shabbalev is tefillah. Okay. So now let's go further. So now we know that the avoda of the lave is tefillah. That's what it means when it says "La'avas Hashem Elokeichem b'kol lebavchem" with tefillah. Okay, so now we continue. V'hinei ha'ava in the
Okay.
Nefesh Hahaim.
Okay. By the way, he did have a last name.
Oh yeah, what was it?
I'll tell you in a minute. It was Ikovitz, Chaim Ikovitz.
No wonder they never say it.
It's easier to say Volosian. That's what it says here.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So, Hine ha'ava she'amot. So let's read from here. Mary, you want to continue?
Okay, 1 second. I can do that. It says, let's see. Hine ha'ava she'amar tzericha lihiyot b'chol lev. Okay, so here the love that I guess we're talking about that they say it needs to be with all of the heart. Upashut. It's that's the simple meaning. Ki he mimitzvot hatuluyot b'lev. What that it's all the mitzvot are suspended in the heart.
Hine ha'ava she'amot tzricha lios b'kol lev. The ava that we are speaking about is with the entire lev, and that is pashut. That's obvious and self-evident. Kihi mitzvahs hatuluyas b'lev. What's obvious? It's obvious that the yeah, what is obvious over here? Abba Sha'amar, the Abba that we are talking about needs to be with all the lev. This that you love Hashem, that you love Hashem, that should be with your entire heart, and that's obvious. Kihi mitzvahs hatuluyas b'lev. Then he's really what he was really talking about was well, I have a question over here. I'm not certain what he's talking about. Is he talking about Abba or is he talking about Tefillah now?
I think he's talking about Ava, talking about love.
He's talking about both, I think. According to the English, it is obviously one of those commandments which are dependent on the heart.
What's the it?
The commandment.
Which commandment? There's two commandments. There's a commandment to love Hashem. There's also a command to daven. No?
With all of one's heart. The commandment to love Hashem with all of one's heart is obviously a commandment which is dependent on the heart.
Oh, okay. So it says over there explicitly the commandment to love Hashem. That's what it says. I don't mean to be nitpicking over here. I'm just trying to figure out what he's saying.
Okay, it says this
Sometimes
love.
in order to do that. What?
This love, about which it states that it needs to be with all one's heart, it is obviously one of those commandments which are dependent on the heart. So I get from that the commandment is the commandment to love.
Right, because okay, very good. Because if he's going back to the pasuk, and the pasuk doesn't really mention anything about tefillah, the pasuk mentions about loving Hashem.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Even though it says, if you'll listen to my mitzvahs. Okay, let's let him. We're gonna bypass this one for a moment and let him develop his thought over here.
Okay, so let's see. V'chein inyan ha'ava b'chol nefesh ne'emar hainu af gam limsur nafsho alav yitbarach shemo. So that's another pasuk with all one's soul.
Okay, inyan ha'ava. Now it's clear. I think that he's talking about ava. He's not. It seems like he said right the inyan of ava. This matter of ava. That b'chol nefesh sha'amar. Oh, see, you have to go back to the pasuk that he first started off with. He said we have a pasuk. It says la'avas Hashem Elokeichem. To love Hashem, and how does it say to love Him? B'kol levavchem u'b'chol nafshechem. To love Him with all of your heart and with all of your nefesh. So now at this point, he was talking previously about loving Hashem with all of your heart, like it says in the pasuk, and now he's focusing on loving Hashem b'kol nefesh, like it says in the pasuk, b'kol nafshechem. And so he's saying v'kein inyan ha'ava and b'kol nefesh, and also the matter of ava with all of the nefesh she'amar that it says in that pasuk that we quoted in the beginning. What does that mean with all of your nefesh? Hainu, it means like this. That is to say, af gam limsor nafsho alav yisborach, to give over his nefesh for the sake of Hashem yisborach. Me'otzam niflas ha'ava lo yisborach, based upon the great, wondrous love that he has for Hashem, may he be blessed. Mesiras Nefesh is generally understood in its simple meaning, straightforward meaning, as to give one's life over for the sake of his love of Hashem. Okay. Now he's going to go further. Ukamosha Kosav.
Okay, let's see. Ukamosha Katuv b'parasha rishona. Oh, so going back to the first paragraph, Yahavta et Hashem Elokecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha.
Ukamosha Kosav b'parasha rishona. Right?
Right. Let's see the first paragraph.
Moshe Kosav b'parsha rishona v'yahavta, with the emphasis on the tough at the end of the word v'yahavta es Hashem lokecha, because like that it is a command to love Hashem. Whereas if you put the emphasis on the first part of the word, v'havta, so then it changes the whole meaning of the word. Then it means, and you have loved Hashem. which is not correct. Doesn't have the correct meaning. So you have to remember to say v'ahavta.
Right, follow the trust. Yep.
V'chol lebavcho v'chol nafshecha. Okay, so he's mentioning that it also says so in the first paragraph. It mentions with all your heart and with all your nefesh.
With all your nefesh.
Okay.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yeah,
Says,
sure.
now the love mention must be with a complete heart/mind. So they putting those two together. They're separate, but the heart is not the mind.
Yeah, this is a yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. What in other words, when we say lave in Lashon HaKodesh, we generally translate it as hearts.
Right. Because lave is heart. That is the translation of it.
Yeah, right. So that's but the reason why he's saying also the mind is because there's a very intimate connection between the heart and the mind in regard to the fulfillment of mitzvahs, and so he wants to. I even saw actually, it's not a proof of anything, but you know the new books of the English translations of Chovos Halevavos that have been put out from the Shirim of Rabbi Avigdor Miller Zatzal.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you take a look over there, the way that they generally up until that edition of that sefer, the way that they used to translate the name of the sefer Chovos Halevavos in English would be the duties of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take a look at that new edition by Rabbi Avigdor Miller, it says the duties of the mind, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So the mind has its place and the heart has its place, and that's it's they're very closely associated with one another. We haven't Shlomo Melech writes in one of his svarim, Libi roa harbe chachma. My heart has seen a tremendous amount of chachma. Your heart has seen such a lot of chachma. What about your mind? Your mind is what you use to absorb chachma, no? And then you have a Rashi in Gittin that talks about the reason why the later generations have not been able to attain the levels of understanding of the Talmud that the earlier generations does, and he says because of the lave has become closed more. The heart has been closed more. Wouldn't you say the mind has been closed more? So this is part of the I'm not answering your question. I'm just basically compounding the confusion, I guess. So that's the way it is.
Also, number 3 in the first part there, it says, however, this second paragraph is something novel that originated that the service too, meaning prayer, must be with a complete heart, mind, and a complete soul, nefesh. So they really encompass everything with that sentence.
How much tzricha lios b'kol
Calling
lev.
service meaning prayer, but you have to have your heart and mind in that. If you're not completely into that, I guess your prayer, your service isn't full.
Right. You shouldn't be thinking about what you're going to have for lunch after mincha. That's the klal. You should be thinking about the words that you're coming out of your mouth. That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so Kamosha Kosev Parsha Rishona Vahapta Es Vahapta Es Hashem Elokecha B'chol Levavcha U'B'chol Nafshecha. Okay, so I'm not really. I'll tell you the truth. I'm really not getting the depths of what he's saying over here. What he's saying here is very very deep, and he's not revealing a whole lot openly. But I'm not sure exactly why he's bringing this pasuk over here now all of a sudden. But maybe he's going to talk about it in the right now. Amna. Let's take a look at what he says in Amna.
How about if you go to sentence 4, it says, for that reason, it wasn't written with all your resources, and your resources include the monetary part.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what he's gonna say. We're gonna talk about this right now, I think.
Okay.
Because that's the difference really between the first paragraph of Shema and the second paragraph of Shema, even though those two psukim are very similar, but only the first the pasuk in the first paragraph mentions meodecha, with all of your resources, whereas the second paragraph pasuk just mentions with your heart and your nefesh. Doesn't mention with your meodecha, doesn't say. Okay. Okay, so do we have time? We have 4 minutes. Okay. Amnam. The Parsha Zu. Chidush hu shechidsha. This is what Alan was referring to, I think. Shegam ha'avoda hi atfila tzricha lios b'kol lev b'kol nefesh. Oh, that's how. So the translation reads. However, in this parsha, chidush hu shechidsha, the chiddush that we are pointing out over here is shegam ha'avoda hi hatfila tzricha lios b'kol lev u'b'kol nefesh. That the avoda that we are, which is tefillah, that's the avoda that we are talking about when we say to be Ovid Hashem, talking about tefillah. It needs to be b'chol lev b'chol nefesh, with all the heart and with all the nefesh. Ulahachi nami, in parentheses over here, lo kesiv ubechol meodechem b'parsha zu. And in this parsha, he's referring to the second parsha. It doesn't say meodechem. In other words, it says la'avas Hashem elokechem b'chol lebavchem ubechol nafshechem, but it doesn't say ubechol meodechem. It does not say that. L'hachinami lo ksiv. And so indeed it is so that we don't find that it says meodechem in this parsha. Kamoj b'parsha rishona. Unlike the first parsha, where it does say, the first parsha says, "V'hapta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha." It has all three. Tiksiv bo nami b'chol meodecha. Oh, why is this so? Ki a parsha rishona mayri be'inyan mitzvahs ha'ava l'chud. Because that pasuk in the first parsha of Shema, which mentions meodecha, also is not talking about tefillah. It's talking about the mitzvah of ava alone. So since it's talking about mitzvahs ava l'chud, and it's not talking about tefillah, shaykh loymar shetiyeh ha'ava gam b'chol ma'od. Zeh mammon. And therefore, since it's talking about loving Hashem, it's not talking about davening to Hashem. It's talking about loving Hashem, and so therefore it mentions b'chol ma'od, with all of your resources. Zeh ha'mammon. That's your possessions, your resources, your material resources that you have. Kamosha Amru Razal. And this is like the Gemara says in Brachos. Im yesh lecha adam shemamono chaviv alav bikufoy lekach nema b'chol meodecha. He's bringing a proof that the Gemara in Brachos also says on this pasuk. It's discussing this pasuk that it's referring to mammon. It's referring to your money. That's only referring to loving Hashem with your money. It's not referring to davening to Hashem with your money. That doesn't make any sense. So that's why the second paragraph. So this is really a foundational proof why it is that the second paragraph is taken in the Gemara to mean the avoda shebalev, which is tefillah, even though there's a very similar pasuk in the first paragraph, which also speaks about serving Hashem with your heart, but that we don't say is referring to tefillah. It's referring to a general expression of love of Hashem. Avav parsha zu, but in this parsha, tiksiv bo nami avoda. But in this parsha here, when he says this parsha, he's referring to the second parsha of Shema, that it writes over there also ula avdo, and you will serve Hashem your God. That is referring, that avoda, that service is talking about tefillah. V'lo shayach ola kol kach ubechol ma'od. And accordingly, it's not relevant to talk about material resources. Davening to Hashem is not about your material resources. That might be what you're davening for, but you don't daven. You don't use your material resources to daven to Hashem with. You don't need material resources to daven to Hashem. Okay, very good.
Thank
So
you,
that's
Rabbi.
up to. All right, have a great day, everybody, and Yeshikoya.
Be well.